We are also following breaking news out of the state of Texas, where a controversial election integrity bill, jam-packed with sweeping changes to the state's voting procedures, has now been filed. State, Senate, and House lawmakers are set to participate in limited debate this afternoon, followed by a straight-up or down vote. NBC's Gary Grumbach is in Texas for us at the state capitol in Austin. Gary, good to see you this afternoon. Thanks for joining us on this. You got your hands on a draft version of the SB 7 bill. Talk us through what's in it.
I will absolutely do that. I just want to go to one thing. A Joe Biden statement just came out. President Joe Biden just released a new statement about this Texas voting bill. He says, in part, it's an assault on democracy that we've seen far too often this year, and often disproportionately targeting black and brown Americans. So that was President Joe Biden just within the last hour. But you're right. They're back in session here at the state capitol. They have a busy afternoon ahead of them. Just this morning, they received a 67-page voter integrity bill, election integrity bill from this committee that's been putting it together all month. I should note, it's not public yet. It's not on the state website yet, but we did get our hands on a copy of it. And I want to go through some of the highlights of what is in this bill for you here. First, it bans mobile voting booths within the state of Texas. It also bans drive-through voting for most voters, and it strengthens voter ID when it comes to vote by mail. It also bans 24-hour voting. That's something that came in real handy during the pandemic, especially for those black and brown voters. And it allows early voting on the weekends in that important weekend just leading up to the election. But importantly, on Sundays, it doesn't start until 1 p.m. So voter advocates said to me, that's really messing up their plans for souls to the polls, because that was the idea of go to church and then immediately go right to the voting booth. And, finally, there's a provision in this that I do want to read word for word because I think it raises a lot of questions more than it does answers here. Quote, if the number of votes illegally cast in the election is equal or greater to than the number of votes necessary to change the outcome of an election, the court may declare the election void without attempting to determine how individual voters voted. So what does that mean? It could be, there's a lot of questions surrounding that, including whether or not that's actually legal to begin with and whether or not that's a contradiction of federal law. Also, when would another vote be scheduled? How would that election be scheduled? And who is in charge of deciding whether or not a vote is illegal? And, I don't think we should overlook the timing of all of this. This is Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. Their legislative session ends on Monday. So they are really packing this all through here. In terms of a timeline, how this is going to work, they are right now debating a little bit in the Senate and the House. The Senate is expected to vote today on this bill. Tomorrow, the House is expected to vote. They are both expected to pass this bill, and Governor Greg Abbott has already said he's going to sign it.